Yo, what's going on, guys? I wanted to talk really quick about how to fix a problem I was having in my tank, which is an overflowing protein skimmer. And I think everybody has had this problem, one time or another. So what happened to me was I've been trying to adjust the alkalinity in my tank because it was a little low. I actually got a two-part doser. Let me see. So I've been using Refusion 1 and 2, which is actually helped my alkalinity go up to about an 8, which is, a good area to have alkalinity. It's a little on the lower side, but it's where it should be. My protein skimmer was not having it. So I actually, like a lot of people do, you look it up, you go on Reef forums, you go on YouTube videos, you kind of find out any information you possibly can. And what I came across Mel's Reef, which is a YouTuber I watch all the time, and I followed his advice, which was to let your protein skimmer, let it overfill. Let it take out as much as you possibly, as it wants. You can do a water change, sure, you could do a big water change, you can. As you can see, my water is actually a little low. I need to top it off with fresh salt water because I let the protein skimmer pretty much do its thing. It took out maybe one full thing. That's it. It was overflowing slowly. I went to the Reef store today to get some water. I came back. I was like, I don't figure that it was going to overflow because it was overflowing very slowly. And by the time I got back, it had fixed itself. So just let it do its thing. It took out enough water though where I need to definitely top this off. But if I top it off with fresh water, my salinity was already at 1.24. I don't want to drop salinity, so I'm going to make like a half a gallon of salt water or something like that, and just top it off with that. Bring the salinity up just a tad bit, maybe to 1.25. See where we're at. But yeah, patience is definitely the key. If you just let your protein skimmer overflow. Now, if you have a protein skimmer, mine's obviously hanging on the back because I just have a little 40-gallon tank. I don't have a sump or anything like that. If you have a sump, though, let it, take that outtake or wherever the collection cup and kind of run a line to like a bucket is what he was saying, and just let it keep overflowing. He said in his 400-gallon Reef, 7 gallons or whatever came out, and he just filled it back up with salt water. But if your salinity is a little high, you can just top that off with fresh water. And that kind of fixes the problem. The protein skimmer will fix itself. A lot of times protein skimmers don't like really adjustments to the water. So I found out like the last time my protein skimmer overflowed, I think, I had put in new filter media and I had forgot to rinse the filtration media and it didn't like it at all. So it started acting crazy and I did a large water change. And I just did a water change on this tank a couple days ago. And I was like, I'm not going to do another water change. That's going to there's so many things that could go wrong with me doing too many water changes like that back to back. So I was like, let's find out another way to do it. And that's the way that I ended up doing it. So just to give you guys a quick update on the tank really quick, since I'm already making a video. If you guys can tell, I did get a little camera lens. Thing is great. Love it. Little blue light filter. You can definitely see the corals more now, and it's great. But how is everything growing? Fantastic, man. So this little guy is a little bleached out, and I think that was because the raise in alkalinity so drastically. I didn't want to raise it that fast, but unfortunately that's what happened. So just give it a couple days, a couple weeks. I think he'll go back as long as everything's stable. Stability is definitely the key with reef tanks. Green star polyps are growing very fast. This frag plug is almost completely covered now. When I got it, maybe half the frag plug was covered. And recently, I would say within the last couple weeks is really when he started to get his growth. And from a lot of other reefers, they said that green star polyps, sometimes they just won't grow right away, and then all of a sudden you'll just get a kick. So I'm starting to get a kick from him. I was thinking about moving them onto the rocks, and then I was like, I was doing more research, and it said that I didn't know green star polyps actually had stinger tentacles. So, I didn't really care if he took over the tank per se, but the fact that he had stinger tentacles, I was like, that's not a good idea. So my plan for him is to possibly grow him out and then put him on the back wall. We'll just see. But then I would have to kind of move my rocks forward, so I'm not sure entirely what I'm going to do with him yet. My yellow polyp, that little polyp on the right, on the very far right, that little one next to him, that's a brand new polyp. He's popped up like a week ago. He's growing. Paulson Xenia, honestly, I think everything in here is really growing kind of slow to my liking. But I'm not sure, because this is kind of my first time having a success with a reef tank. Just from other reefing videos, I can tell my corals I think are growing slower. But it's all patience with the reef tank, and I know that. And this is, a tank that hasn't been set up very long. So just as long as everything's growing, I think it's, why bother and mess with levels? I'm not trying to chase any parameters. I just wanted to chase alkalinity to at least that 8 mark, because mine was low. So I got it up to about 8, and I'm really happy with 8. And I'm going to dose the 2-part and, hopefully keep it at least at 8. My Duncan coral. Now you guys can get a better look at it since I have this filter on it. You can see all the small heads underneath. He is exploding. Like, he has about 10, and they are getting big really, really quickly. That Duncan, just from my day 14 video on the reef tank, you can just see how drastically he's grown. It's amazing. I'm in love with how much he's grown. Oh, sorry. There's the torch. Like I said, he's kind of a little bleached out, but he has grown as well. Pipe organ, honestly not doing the best. But I'm just leaving him there. A lot of sponges have kind of grown on the coral. You can see all the white. Harmless little sponges. They're not going to hurt anything. Sorry, guys. But other than that, everything's really doing well. The zoanthus, I've even seen some good growth out of them. I feel like a couple, maybe 1 or 2 polyps a week or so on him. So everything is growing really slow, but everything's growing, and that's really all you can ask for. Everything's growing, so obviously the parameters are good enough where they can grow. I'm really hoping, the thing I want to see grow more than anything is actually coralline algae. And that's going to take its time. I'm not going to speed up the process. I'm not going to add any additives to get coralline. I have some purple stuff on my rock that's spread, and I believe that's coralline algae. But I could be wrong, because these rocks were a little painted when I got them. But the fact that I believe it's spread, so I'm pretty sure it's coralline algae. It's just growing really, really slow. And those are the rocks that I've had for approximately 4 months when I had my 20-gallon reef set up. And I'm actually thinking about setting up either a 10-gallon reef tank, just because I really want to go with a small reef and do water changes versus dosing on this tank. Just kind of like experiment. I'm not even sure if I'd get a fish in there, but the torch coral would probably go in there. Or I'm thinking about setting up a shrimp tank. It's always something I've kind of wanted to do and I'm interested in. So if you guys have ever set up like a little 3-gallon shrimp tank, the little fluval EBI shrimp kit, I think is what it's called. I'm just curious. I would like to do live plants in there. I had a live plant in a goldfish tank one time, and it did really, really well. And I enjoy just watching plants grow. So that's something I'm interested in. But everything, man, is doing good. Everything's growing slowly but surely. Really, the main one that's growing is that Duncan is just exploding. I have never seen one of my corals do so well, and I'm really happy because he's my favorite coral. Definitely my favorite coral is that Duncan. I just love how he looks and the bright green in the middle. He'll probably eat today. I haven't fed him the last couple days just because he spit out some food, so I'll cut down on his feedings maybe every couple days instead of every day and just see how he takes to that. Other than that, guys, like I said, if you want to fix your protein skimmer, just kind of let it run its course, empty it out, and then just fill up the tank. Whatever it took out, just fill it up afterwards. But that's the best way to do it. Don't stress it. Don't do a massive water change. If you don't have the time to sit here in wherever the tank is and monitor it, then sure, do a water change. But I feel like this is a lot less stressful on you to just let it run its course. It worked for me. Like I said, it maybe took an hour and a half. There was definitely some out precipitation on my power heads and stuff. I cleaned that off, which means I definitely dosed too much alkalinity supplement, and it precipitated out of the tank. But you live, you learn. With a reef tank, you make mistakes and you learn from them. So that's just something I have to understand. Next time, don't dose so much. But this is my first time really dosing alkalinity, so I'm kind of new to it. So it is what it is. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, the tank's doing really well, growing slowly but surely, and I got the blue light filter on my phone, and I'm so excited that you can actually see the corals so much better now and see their colors. Those green star polyps are really vibrant. Love how green they are in the light. The Duncan is just beautiful. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks with another update on the tank. Thank you so much for the likes and the views on my channel recently. Had like 1,000 views in the last month, and I appreciate that. Hope everybody's staying safe. Peace out, guys.